Well, hey everybody, it's Outland. How's it going? And I have a super special guest with me tonight. I've been trying to get this guy on for a while, and I finally got him on. My buddy. I've done some hiking with him, and he is just a fantastic dude. And yeah. So welcome, Jason Waugh from Backpacking with Jason. How you doing, man?
Thanks. Doing good, Lance. Doing good.
Awesome,
yeah,
man.
we've done a couple of trips, man. Did Pennsylvania and Kentucky. We've been to some spots there. Sure.
Yeah, man. You've shown me around the gorge and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, the Oil Creek trip we did, I guess about a year ago. Well, maybe 8 months ago.
Yeah, it seems like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but was that still 2020? Yeah, it was.
2020's gone pretty slow. Was it 2020?
Yeah,
it might have been.
It was January.
Like maybe January.
It was
January 2020. Woof, son! Can you imagine?
Feels
where
like
we was at Oil Creek,
feels like
2020.
Yeah, it was right before the whole this whole COVID thing really kicked in.
I mean, we had a potluck dinner, sleigh riding. Everybody's big smiles, happy.
We had bear meat, man. It was. We even went to that that diner.
Yeah.
The Famor's place. Yeah, it was awesome.
And big group of us. I mean, there's probably 8, 9 of us, and who would have known what 2020 was getting ready to be in store for us.
Live for the moment, man, because you never know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, we're trying to plan another Oil Creek trip. So,
hey, man, we're going to make it happen.
We'll
I don't care what they say.
what the heck?
So everything as crazy it is, man. It looks like you've been getting out quite a bit still, right?
Yes. I think probably the best place to be is outdoors. Trying not to be cramped up inside too much. You know what? If you want me to go crazy, you put me inside. You know, I work outside my whole life. I've never had an inside job except maybe like as a teenager at Hardee's. But I've worked my whole life outside. I stay outside. I couldn't imagine having to be just stay in the house. So yeah, I try to get out. But if I go in the woods, remember I keep 6 feet apart. You know, don't wear a mask, but I'll keep my distance and so forth. So to all the craziness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been very blessed to go on a lot of trips this year. A lot of good times, a lot of good backpacking trips and so forth.
So what was your favorite trip of the year besides Oil Creek?
Man, that is a unfair question. Totally unfair. I don't even know how to answer it. You know, each one was so special. Like the Colorado trip, you know, was with Adam and Josh and Tim and Jeremiah and you know, it's so.
That's right. I forgot you had all those guys on that trip.
Yes, and so that Colorado trip, then, you know, I got to go to Oregon with my Kentucky friends, a lot of my buddies, where we do trips, you know, all the time and everything. And so that was special. And then I got to go to like New Hampshire, and I got to meet Justin. And I took one of my Kentucky buddies with me up there, and I got to meet Justin with It's Good in the Woods. And I've talked to him a lot through social media, texting, talking on the phone, but none of that compares to when you're out there, you know, in the woods, hanging out, you know, and bonding and everything. But I couldn't tell you honestly to be honest, the favorite one. Just love them all, man.
I was
love them all.
So jealous of that Colorado trip. I was like, man, why could I get to go on that trip?
That was a tough trip. You know,
it looked hard. Yeah.
The scenery and everything was just overwhelming, you know, of all the beauty, but being above, you know, when that 11,000 and above elevation for 4 days, you know, that was really, in the morning times I felt nauseous and blood was kind of starting to come out my nose and stuff like that. And, but back on it, for that scenery, just about worth it. I just don't know how much longer I could have stayed up there that high without going down to take a break in lower elevation.
Yeah.
For a
so
while.
did you guys flew right out there and immediately started hiking? Is that what happened?
No, we flew out there and I stayed in a room about, you know, 30 minutes away from the trailhead. And so the last time I went to Colorado, I went from Kentucky to Denver to trailhead to just not feeling good. And I was like, I need a day just to stay at a hotel, just chill, you know, relax and start that fresh that morning and go at it. And it definitely helped out a lot.
Yeah. I was out in there. I was in Vail a year ago, last August. And, or no, it was July. But I had no problems compared to the first time I went out there, like 10 years ago. I was in a lot worse shape back then, but man, I don't know what was different, but it was so much easier the second time I went out there.
That Vail is where we went into, actually, was Vail, Colorado. And that's where we went to Denver, but drove to Vail. Man, that place is awesome. I mean, incredible. That Holy Cross Wilderness, that place is insane. And David, how can I forget his name? David Gray.
Oh yeah,
David Gray gave me all the information.
Did he?
Because we wanted to do kind of with the trip that he was doing, and he is so nice. He sent me an email of like a itinerary of everything that he did wrong, the wrong routes he went,
wow.
and everything. And I was like, man, you went above and beyond. So I sent it to all the guys, and I was like, look, this is right here. It is, and I thought that was awesome. But that Holy Cross Wilderness is incredible. You're out there. I mean, you're looking at a waterfall. You're looking at a snow-capped mountain. You're looking at a lake. Everything is just so beautiful. And you can only see that so many times in your life.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so many times you're going to be able to get up there like that.
Yeah.
Or for me here in Kentucky.
Yeah, because we day hiked it, and I was just like, man, why didn't we backpack this and actually sleep out here? Because it was just like I remember every bend you'd come around was something you're like, like you'd gasp, like, oh. And then you come around another bend, you'd be like, "Oh my gosh, how can it get any better? Oh my gosh, it's better!" It's like it's unbelievable.
That's it. And I get that way too a lot. I could be at the Red River Gorge where I've seen it 1,000 times, or be in Colorado or Oregon, or something. And if I see a great view, I get a big smile on my face. I'm like, "Oh man, look at that!" Wow. And because you just don't see it every day. Most of my days are construction, houses, stuff like that. I live in Lexington. It's a small city, maybe 350,000 people, so it's not very big. But, I don't get to see a big waterfall every day. I don't get, so anytime it just is like, oh my goodness, how beautiful.
It's amazing. It really is.
And that is probably why I backpack.
Yeah, right?
That's probably, yes, for those moments right there. And a party.
And a party.
But yes, those reasons right there. But the scenery, the beauty of some of the stuff that you just don't get to see every day. And, you got to envy some of those people who just live out there in the wilderness.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm jealous of you just being an hour from the gorge. I mean, I can't imagine being 10 minutes away from those places.
And there's some other good spots too. I mean, if you like Cave Run and the Gorge, and I haven't done much out west. But Kentucky is a diverse state, as in Western Kentucky is a lot more flat and a lot more lakes and flat. Northern Kentucky is more the Cincinnati area and more of that, and south and east is more of mountainous Appalachia, definitely Appalachia area. And that's kind of where I grew up, was in eastern Kentucky, and grew up in Appalachian Mountains, and then in places like that.
Yeah, my whole family's from Kentucky, actually. So, my grandpa, he grew up in he grew up in West Liberty. And my dad grew up, I forget where he grew up. I don't know, but
got them Kentucky roots.
Yeah. So my whole family's from Kentucky. They only moved to Ohio like right before I was born. So I was born in Ohio, but yeah, I've got a lot of ties to that state. My wife has family in London, so we go down there for like her family. We used to go down there for her family reunions. Go down there, and there's London's a really cool place because there's like.
I was going to say the same. I like London.
Yeah.
That's right off I-75.
Yeah.
I mean, right off the interstate and everything.
And there's a petroglyph or something down there. There's some kind of like Native American artifacts and stuff, which is really cool.
You start getting into the Appalachian Mountain areas. So I moved to Central Kentucky in high school, going into high school. So I lived in I was real close to Virginia, where I lived at in eastern Kentucky. And I was 30 minutes from Virginia. So it was very, very mountainous. But I didn't know of the Red River Gorge. Never even heard of it. Because everybody's in those mountains. Nobody who lives in the mountains goes to Red River Gorge when they're in the mountains. So when I moved to Central Kentucky, I would tell people, it's like, man, I miss the mountains. And they're like, well, we have Red River Gorge. And I was like, I'll take it. Just show me the way. And and all that. Because Central Kentucky, they do a lot of tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of things. We'll grow a lot of stuff here. Horses is huge. Bourbon, bluegrass, and basketball.
Oh yeah,
You know,
gotta have the bourbon.
This area. So it's a big thing. So yeah, I was very happy to know I had mountains close by.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know about the gorge until, I don't know, maybe a few years ago. Like I had heard about Natural Bridge, but I didn't know about the gorge. And then someone took me down there and took me to Hanson's Point with my very first time. So I was just like,
Boom.
well, okay, I'm sold. This place,
You're sold.
This place is amazing. And
I'm with you. Hanson's Point is just insanely beautiful.
it really is.
And walking out there and everything is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
And you get almost the whole 360 view of it and everything. And you know, there's some top 5. Hanson's, top of Double Arch, Eagle's Nest, Cloud Splitter. You know, they're all great scenery views.
You just did that video on Eagle's Nest, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so-
Me and that hiking guy and Carlson Adventures.
Yeah, and they're in the
All three of
chat,
us.
by the way. So hi guys.
Hey, what's up, guys?
THG.
What's up, Chris and Brian?
Carlson.
Man, those guys had me laughing the whole time. I mean, seriously, when I said my jaws hurt after the next day, my jaws hurt from laughing so much. Just had a great time hanging out with those guys. And, you know, after all the hiking and the sightseeing and everything, we was up on Eagle's Nest, and we was just sitting there watching the sunset, and we was sitting on the rock, you know, and we're just sitting there just chit-chatting, laughing away, you know, and just there right there's what it's all about, man.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
watching a sunset, you're on top of a big vista, sitting on a rock, the whole world in front of you. I mean,
That
what else could you ask
that
for?
trail looked a little sketchy though, man.
Oh, you can take another way. I like taking that little goat path, but you could take the other one and stay, and you can get up there just as easy. But those guys seemed like they was up for it, and they had no problems.
Well, that's
on
good.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, that hiking guy's been to stuff way scarier than that.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
been. Yeah.
He's been up to
He-
Mount Elbert and
Half
Half
Dome.
Dome. That's right. He did Half Dome. That's nothing should
He
scare
did
him at this point.
He did that thing in Utah. Angels.
Oh, Angel's Landing? Really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Forget that, man. I don't know if I could do that. one.
My brother-in-law did Angel's Landing, and I he's pretty fearless. And I was like, okay, man, how was it really? He's like, it was terrifying. He's like, it's absolutely terrifying. like he did it, but he said he won't do it again.
Like if it was a 20-foot walk, I might be like, okay, I'll tough it out.
Mhm.
But where it's so far around there, and yeah, I don't think I could do it. I mean, it's such a
Yeah, because I think the deal with those hikes is, like you said, they're not short. Like it's like a 10-mile round trip. So, you've got to hike all the way up to the top, and then you've got to still be, not have jelly legs to be able to not fall and die off these 1,000-foot drop-offs, and then get back down safely. So that's the thing about out west is, they're no joke.
I think Chris said that Half Dome, the one where you got the cable and you're walking up on the planks, I think it's a 20-mile round trip.
Is it
Like,
oh
so if
yeah,
you're day hiking,
that's what he said in the chat. 20-mile round trip.
that is insane, man.
Dude.
I mean, that's a big day. I mean, plus you're going up something as scary as I'll get out. And I don't know. It's a bucket list for me, but I sure would like to be able to camp up there. I don't know if I want to carry a backpack,
Right.
up that where you got to walk on that cable and you're pulling, and I don't know.
Yeah,
But
and I think just the sheer amount of people, even though it's a permit system, all those people going up
Yeah.
that thing would really give me anxiety. Like, I don't know, because I don't know, people do stupid things, and
Chris said they was doing. A few guys was like walking on the outside of it, and that's where it makes the boards loose and stuff like that. And yeah,
because all it takes is for
I'm with you.
some idiot to do something crazy and then fall and take you all down like dominoes. And yeah,
I want to see where the guy did the solo, free solo, where the guy climbed up, which I can't
that was
remember
El Cap,
which
right?
one
El
it-
Capitan.
El Capitan. Yes,
I stood at the base of
I
that.
want to see that.
I stood at the
'Cause
base.
I think it's like it's like 5,000 feet. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's like when you stand at the bottom of it, it's the most amazing thing. Like you're just like, I can't even believe this is real. Like it's
Yeah,
mind blowing.
that's what I want to see that so bad. I imagine somebody just climbed
You've
it.
never been to Yosemite?
No,
Oh man,
no, I haven't done much in Northern
dude.
California or like Yellowstone or Yosemite. I haven't hit either one of those two
Yeah,
because it's very touristy. But I'm going to do it within next few years. I'm definitely going to do it. And I want to do it as in just get a cabin and then just go hit the day hikes at certain
yeah.
places, and because it's too hard to camp out there. Plus, I think they make you use a wag bag.
I don't know. I don't have to use a wag bag, really.
And I'm not even gonna get into the wag bag situation. I'm not even
And
gonna get
you
into that.
can't have fires. I'm pretty positive of that. So that rules that
Yeah,
out. That is one cool
yeah,
thing about here in the West and the South stuff. It's like you can pretty much do that stuff unless there's a really extreme condition.
yes.
You can have fires.
A lot in the South, it rains so much. People think the mid or the PCT area gets a lot of rain. The Washington, Oregon, Northern California, they get rain, but they don't get anything like we get in the South.
Yeah.
With the Alabama, the Tennessee, the Kentucky, and Georgia, Mississippi. I mean, they just get hammered with the rain.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
people don't know that aren't from the area. They don't know that the Smokies are basically a rainforest. And
yes,
I guess really the Appalachians, I would say, kind of like
a
that
lot
too.
of it. Red River Gorge actually has some it's like a rainforest down in there. Like it's even wet in the summertime. You can go down there and it's still just like wood would be damp,
Hmm.
and wet, and so forth. And you really get your fire capabilities going
Yeah.
down there. You
Like
know,
the only time
because
I've really had a problem was in the middle of August on top of a ridge or something. It was like, okay, it's dry as heck up here, but like you can go down a little
yes,
bit and find water, just a little bit in a valley somewhere. So it's you're never really too far from water down there, which is awesome.
I'm I'm ready to. Fall's here, but I'm ready for some of that wintertime backpacking
Hmm.
and bringing some more good food, eggs, bacon, biscuits, bringing all that good stuff
Yeah, that
and bringing a lot more real food.
that trip we did Pennsylvania, Oil Creek, man, that was a blast. You had some.
I think your food was the best. You
No,
had baked spaghetti. I thought that was awesome. I was like, man,
thanks.
I will say the bear sausage was good, and nobody died. So that's always a
Well,
plus.
ignorance is bliss, man. Because I don't even know anything about trichinosis till the. Was it trichinosis? Is that what it is?
I didn't know anything about it either until Andy and
Andy and
Kevin
Kevin were like,
Shield. Andy,
"Did you
Andy
cook
was
this?
like,
Spare
"Hey
me."
man, yeah." They was like, there's trichinosis, and I was like, "What's trichinosis?" And they're like, "It could kill us," and I was like, "No, man, none of the Ohio guys died," and I was like, "They all ate it," and so I took it on a trip with the Shields on there. They introduced me to some Ohio backpacking, and actually, it wasn't bad, man. We had a good time out there, and it was just a few miles hiking and stuff.
Yeah.
But I've watched a few, or I do watch a few Ohio YouTube
Hmm.
channels. Our World Outdoors,
Okay.
of course, you guys, you and Tim and everybody, and all that. I like your all's channels, but the guy Our World Outdoors, he showed me a lot of stuff in Ohio, and I was just like,
Hmm.
wow, man, that is awesome.
Yeah.
He really shows a lot. I think it's Tony and Missy.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, they're
Yep.
cool. Yeah. They're
Yeah, they represent your state very well.
there's a few cool places if you know where to look, and I wish there were more backpacking options. We've got. Have you ever been to the Hocking Hills here in Ohio?
No, but I want to because there's like a waterfalls or something I
Oh,
want to see.
it's gorgeous. It's kind of like a mini gorge. It's for sandstone, cliffs, and you've got waterfalls, but you can't backpack there. You can do, maybe a 10-mile day hike, but there's no place to
Yeah,
camp. I mean, you have to car camp. You have to. They have what's called park and pack sites. So it's basically
yeah.
like car. You can park and then kind of hike in like a little ways and get back, but you can't backpack. And it's just like, man, if we only had a backpack trail in this area, it'd be so cool.
What about the Buckeye Trail?
I think it goes through there. at least a little part of it, but I don't know where the actual campsite areas are off that trail. The Buckeye Trail.
Isn't that pretty long?
Yeah, it goes all the way around the state. It's like 1,000 miles or something around the state.
Oh man, they got to have campsites, for people who do that.
But
sure.
I've researched it and I was like, I want to do this, but the majority of it is so boring. It's like road walking. It's like, if I'm gonna do a trail, man, I'm gonna be in the woods. I don't want to be sleeping on the side of a road. So
looking like a homeless man.
Exactly. It's like I don't want to be homeless. I just want to camp.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be close to the road area either. There, not at all. But what I will say though, with wintertime backpacking is you get to go off trail a lot. You get to look around. You get to go. Leaves are off. You can see long distances. Besides stupid rhododendrons being in my way.
Now, see, I like the rhododendrons because we don't have anything like that near me. So, I like.
They grab you and pull you. It's like a jiu-jitsu class.
It's like a jungle plant. It really is.
To pull them off of you.
But I love that how they're still green all year round. I love that. Like in the middle of the winter, you're still green. So that's cool.
They're hard to kill.
Oh.
And never use them to cook food over because they're poisonous.
Oh, really? That's good to know.
Yeah. But I really enjoy it. Like a lot of times I'll go to Cave Run and there's hardly no rhododendrons there. Very rare. You can just see. I love it when you go off trail and you can just see long distances and it's just like, oh man, let's just go. And then if you find a big flat area, you go make your own campsite, fire, you're so by yourself. I love those times.
Yeah.
It also gets tough though because, you go through briars, you can go through who knows what because it's not a trail.
Yeah.
But it's real fun. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, so speaking of that, man, you do a lot of off-trail hiking, especially like in the gorge. It's like I've watched some of your how did you like gain the confidence in your navigation abilities to be able to do that? Did you just I'm just going to go off trail and explore, or like do you know map and compass really well? How do you do that? Find those cool places.
Do not know map and compass really well. I know maps, pretty well looking at terrain and stuff, but so when I was a kid I was raised by a river and we'd always go as kids, we'd go down there and play by the riverbanks and so forth. So mom and dad would always say, we follow the river to come back home. We always knew wherever we went, I knew the river was home. I knew follow the river, I'll find my way home. And it's pretty much the same concept as a child as it is a grown up. When I'm going off trail, my thing is to find something I'm going to follow. If I'm on top of a ridge, I'm going to follow the ridge top. I know the ridge top will end somewhere, and I know I'm following that ridge top. If I'm going by water, I know I'm going upstream or downstream, so I'm going to follow the water. And I'm going to use that. I will definitely figure out spots that I know, things that I can see and do. And trust me, I've got turned around before. For sure. I'm like, where the heck am I? I'm like, where am I at? But, you just get your bearings, kind of figure everything out. To be honest, too, these phones, man, they'll have a GPS lock showing you where you're at, and you can pretty much just point to see which way you're wanting to go and go from there. But, I try to keep a little of everything, the phone, paper map, and so forth, and make sure the ways I want to go. But, yeah. There's been a time me and my buddy got kind of lost in the Smokies. We went just walking around and we was just chit-chatting and stuff, and we had nothing. We didn't have a phone. We didn't have anything. And this is the Smokies. So we kind of stopped and we was like, hey, man, where's the trail? It's like, I don't know. We was just exploring around in the Smokies, just looking around. We dropped our packs, and before we know it, we didn't really know where the trail was. So I stayed where I was, and my buddy would go out till I could keep hearing him holler, like, hey, hey, hey. And then he would come back, and then he'd go to another one, hey, 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 and come back, and then he'd go out to another one, and he was like, hey, I found the trail.
Oh, man.
I was like, thank you, Jesus.
Well, that works.
That's how people get lost, I dropped my pack, and we just looking for an off-trail, site, to go camp instead of staying, at designated area. And we was kind of just looking around, we was chit-chatting and saying what a good day it was. And before you know it, you're like, hey, where's the trail at? And you know what? Now I always make sure to take my phone so I have a GPS or something. If I, even just use the bathroom, or going to go scout out and look for campsites or anything. From now on, man, that is stapled in my mind since that point, because my heart fell to the floor because I was like, this is how people get in trouble. This right here, But we did that, the thing where he goes out, comes back, goes out, comes back, and so forth.
Yeah, that's
so. If anybody's listening, if you get lost and you got a buddy with you, you stay put. Let him go out. Let him search for shouting distance and come back.
That always used to kind of blow my mind about, you hear about solo hikers who end up disappearing off, like, the AT or something. It's like, but it's if you are by yourself and you get off trail for a second and you get turned around, it's like you could be in trouble. I mean, seriously.
Yes. There's like a woman who's like a mile away from the trail and they found her dead like a few years ago. That's just like, that breaks my heart for one. But it's just like, wow, man, 1 mile away. And
yeah, it's crazy.
It's just, yes, the things that can happen. Yeah, I mean, there's so many wild stories of things happening to people in the woods, just insane.
Yeah, I mean, I got lost. It wasn't off trail, but I got lost at Big South Fork, actually.
I'm getting ready to go
there.
Yeah,
just telling you. But it's because I'm an idiot and I don't know how to read a map. I even had a map, and I took the wrong trail, and it basically ended up taking me like, I don't know, 5 or 10 miles out of my way. And I ran out of water. Back then I didn't have a water filter. For whatever reason, I did not have a water filter. I ran out of water in the middle of July. And it was horrible. I'm just I was having mini hallucinations, dreaming about something to drink. And I was like, I might just have to drink out of the stream and take my chances. It was that bad. And it scared the crap out of me.
I would have took my chance.
Yeah, it scared the living crap out of me. And I was like, man, I'm not doing that again. So now I'm really careful about stuff. And I ended up purchasing Gaia for my phone. But still,
smart move, man.
It's awesome and it's great. But you still, if your phone dies or you lose it, man, you got to have those extra skills. So
know your bearings.
Know your bearings. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So important.
That's a heart to the floor moment, isn't it? When you get in those situations.
It is. I remember it was one of my first times I'd been out in a really long time. So I was by myself, and I hadn't backpacked in a while. My kids had just been born. They were still toddlers. And so I was getting homesick. I was thinking about my kids. And I was down there in the Big South Fork, and I kept having these fears of bears. I'd heard stories.
Oh, there's bears there.
Yeah, I'd heard stories about bears.
Yes.
And I was in a tent, and in the middle of the night, I heard crap all around my tent. And I swore they were bears. I was like, bears have surrounded me. I am going to die. I thought I was going to die.
Squirrels.
It was probably chipmunks.
Raccoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was an acorns or nut tree or something, I don't know, walnuts or something.
Yeah.
And they kept falling and they kept hitting in the woods. It would be crash. And I'd be like, what is that? What? It was terrifying. And I didn't go out solo for a while after that because it just really messed me up. And I'm and then I was finally what's wrong with me? Come on. Man up.
You did that solo trip in West Virginia this year, and that was awesome.
Yeah, man, and I had a blast.
Yeah.
Actually, I was so glad I went solo because I didn't have anybody telling me what to do. Nobody's making my itinerary for me. It was
nope.
I'll go see what I want. I'll hike as many miles as I want. If I want to go see this waterfall, I'll do it. It was it was awesome. And then I almost stepped on a rattlesnake. It was awesome. Dude, I tell you, man, that
I almost go at least once a week or once every other week by myself. No filming, no YouTube, just me going out there and solo. Man, it's good for the soul. It's good for you to get out there.
It really is,
soloing.
man. It really is.
I tell you what, on that turn around, one of the first videos that I've seen of a person who kind of put something like that where he was kind of lost, and he was like, I'm going to put this in my video, was Frozen. What's his channel?
Outdoor Adventures.
Outdoor Adventures.
Yeah.
But he got lost on Hanson's Point.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you ever seen that video of him there. I watch every Red River Gorge video I can someday. And he was out there at Hanson's, and he got turned around. I was like, oh, I know that feeling, because I've been turned around out there too. It's like, which trail, But I really enjoyed how Frozen kind of calmed down. He was like, look, I got to find my bearings. But he put it all on video. It's like, hey, I'm kind of freaked out. I don't know which way to go. Because, there is a lot of little things out there at Hanson's, just take you out to pinch them tight and so forth. And easy to get lost out there. But I really think, to put the realness on the videos on there. It's like if you get lost or something.
Yeah, so we
put it on there.
So we got a few questions in the chat, and somebody was asking where in Big South Fork you're hiking, Jace.
I've got a few of my Kentucky buddies and Mr. Stringer, Jeremiah Stringer, who's going to go with me. And we're going to go to the Honey Creek Loop, and then Jeremiah made a route for me. He made a whole trail, like a 20-mile trail. We're going to put a truck here and a truck here. So I know Honey Creek Loop is one of them, and then we're trucking on somewhere from there. I'm not sure what the rest of it is.
Nice. Yeah, I've been to the like I said, the Honey Creek Loop and the John Muir Trail there.
Done Yahoo Falls, I've done a lot of the highlights. Pretty much I just want to get in the Big South Fork and, just hang out in the woods.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. So it'd be like, could be 6 to 4 of us. So it ought to be a pretty fun trip.
That would be an awesome trip, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we have in here?
I can't see no questions, right?
Let's see. We got quite a few people here. We got Carlson, THG, Tanya, Brownie. Hi, Tanya. Hooks and Hammocks is here. Hike with Mike
What's
is
up,
here.
Hooks and Hammocks?
How you guys doing? Turtle Crawford is here. Honey Creek is on my list, said Tanya. Rock Creek Loop was nice. Does Jason know a short, non-technical way to a waterfall?
Which area? Gorge or?
I think he was being sarcastic.
Gotcha. No, I'm not technical. I can get you lost in a heartbeat. I can tell you that. I know to follow the water. That's one thing I do know.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some moments, it's like, but you're right. It's really hard to get lost, honestly, these days.
I tell you one thing, when I went to New Hampshire, and Justin from It's Good in the Woods, if y'all don't know about him, check him out. It's Good in the Woods. His channel is awesome. Mm-hmm. But he does a lot of stuff in the New Hampshire area. And he took me on one of they call it top 25 terrifying hikes in New Hampshire. So there's 25 terrifying hikes in New Hampshire. And he took me up one called Six Husband Trail. That thing was insane, but you would never know where the trail is. I'd be like, you sure it's up that way? I mean, that's a rock, like, flat. I'm like, are you sure that's the way? And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, just follow me. I'll be like, I'm right behind you, man. I can definitely see how you get lost out there.
Oh, my gosh, man.
I mean, when we got out of all the rock climbing area and the cliff sides and all that, we got up there, we took a lunch, and here come a young girl and a young guy, and the girl was still shaking, and she's like, is there more? Is there more? And Justin was like, no, you're done. It's like, now you're going to get up to the summit, but all the dangerous stuff, he's like, you're done. But they's like, do we have to go back down that way? And Justin, they come up there with no map, no nothing, just start hiking up. And really had no backpacks, no anything. They day hiking. Then he broke out his map and showed them how to get back around.
Oh my gosh.
But I could definitely see how you get turned around in New Hampshire in some of those areas. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's just like no blazes, no nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
awesome.
I've watched some of the Syntax videos where they're up there in the whites, and I'm just like, good grief, that place. And they go up there, in the middle of winter. And he's like, you can't.
That's what I'm trying to do.
10 feet of snow. I'm like, oh my gosh. I would die. I would just die.
Me and being a Kentucky guy, how much snow I see. Last year we had a grand total of 3 inches. I don't even know if we had 3 inches. We might have had just like a quarter inch of snow last year. But, I think I'll get me some snowshoes. I'll get me some crampons. I'll get me an ice axe and look like I know what I'm doing. And hopefully Justin will take care of me and not let me die.
Oh.
I told him the whole time. I said, "What's the number one rule, Justin?" He's like, "Don't let you die." I said, "Thank you. That's the number one rule. Don't let me die." And but I've never been backpacking in snow like that, and I've never got to go up a mountain and see a view of the mountains with snow covered, and then sleigh riding my butt all the way down it. And that is what I'm wanting to do, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I'm hoping it'll happen come March. I'm hoping, shooting for March to get out
That's
that way.
awesome.
He said it's a good time to come. There's still a lot of snow. The weather's getting better, and so forth. So I don't think I could do it in the deep, dark wintertime.
Yeah, it's something special about being out there in the winter, but it's you know, you don't have any sounds, you know, it's like real quiet. It's like, man, this is a totally different experience.
Hear that crisp of you walking on the snow, like,
yeah, it's kind of magical.
I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping. Like the last time when we was in Oil Creek was the last big snow. The beginning of 2020.
Well, I think that was amazing because, you know, when I left Dayton, I think it was raining, and by the time I got up to Pennsylvania, there was 8 inches of snow on the ground or something.
Oh yes,
it was amazing, and it was still coming down. It was just.
And thank goodness for Josh Harrod because he got us all unstuck.
Oh my gosh, we all got stuck.
Karate Josh for the hero on that one.
Yeah,
Karate was saving all.
Thank God
of us.
somebody knew what they were doing in the snow, because man, I was like, I don't know how to get out of this snow. This is nuts.
I tried for 20-some minutes to get out of that snow. Josh hopped in there and he's like, "Whoop, whoop, whoop," and popped right out of there. I was like, "What? How is that even possible? I've done everything. I was going slow. I was going fast. I was turning my wheels." But he hopped in there. And I was like, "Wow, man. He must just be used to it or something." Karate's an awesome guy, though, man. He is so much fun to go backpacking with.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I like him a lot. I was going to do like an overlanding trip with him, and we just never got it pulled together this year. It's been a crazy year, man.
Him and his girlfriend hit me up. Well, he hit me up. It was like him and his girlfriend was coming to the Red River Gorge. She was like, "Would you show me Indian Staircase?" And I was like, "You got it." And I just day hiked it up there with them, and we got up on top, and I showed him some pretty good campsites up there. And then he stayed for the rest of the night. But yeah, man, I have a great time hanging out with Karate. He's a good dude.
Yes.
He's a real good dude.
Hey, so John Carlson asked, have you wanted to through hike a long trail at AT or PCT? We were just talking about that.
Well, I don't think I could get away. Of course, I'd want to. You know, if I was able to, I would definitely. But I'd do the AT before the PCT because the PCT looks a lot more rough, tough. You know, just a lot harder than the AT. And I've section hiked the AT. I've done the first around 450 miles of the AT, and it's tough. It's definitely tough hiking, but it's beautiful. You know, you're not running into desert to snow mountains and stuff like that you'll get on the PCT. But maybe in the future, I am wanting to do, you know, maybe do some kind of through hike, you know, like a 70 or 80 mile or maybe a 100, 200 mile one, something like that. I know me and my buddies are trying to figure out a thing for the 100-mile wilderness up in Maine. Mm-hmm. I think it's in Maine, and like make a trip out of that and do something like that. Sweet. But I would definitely be up for the big through hikes. I think it'd be great, but man, I just don't have, you know, I run a business and your payroll keeps coming in.
Yeah. So, I'm surprised you haven't done the Sheltoe. I would have thought you'd done that.
I've hit about all the Sheltoe I want to hit. There's parts that I just don't want to see. There's a lot of road walking of the Sheltoe and stuff like that. So the parts of the Sheltoe that I really enjoy, yeah, I've hit those and everything. But as far as going one end to the other, no. There's a lot of the Sheltoe I don't really. They need to route that better.
Yeah. I think Jason Wish was talking about that. Yeah, but he was.
Yeah.
Practically running the thing, so.
Dude, he's a beast. He is such a beast.
He's amazing.
Yes.
He just finished I don't know how you say it, Susquehannock.
Yeah, he just did another FKT. It's insane. he is. Yeah, I can't imagine. when he was practicing for the Shellatoli, he sent a text and said, "Hey, you Kentucky boys," he's like, "it was me and Jeremiah and I'm not sure somebody else said." He said, "You all want to meet up with me and do a hike?" And I was like, "Shoot, yeah, man, I'll meet you. I'll bring some steaks, and all that." And he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna let you know we'll do like 25 miles." And this was like in July. And I was like, "Man, you have fun, all right?" I was like, "I'll catch you on the flip side." I was like, "I'll catch you on another one." I was like, "You go have fun, Wish." There. It's 100 degrees outside. I'm not going to do no 25 miles. I'm thinking about doing about 5-6 miles, cooking a steak, and, hanging out and having fun. But Wish is a beast, man. I seen that video of him at the Adirondacks, and he just left everybody. He just zoom.
The one or two times that I've hiked with him, it's like he was literally like we were like next to each other, and then he was just gone. It's like, well, it was nice hanging out with you, man. I'll see you at camp.
He's gonna live to be 100.
Oh yeah,
he's gonna live to be 100 years old. 105. He'll be out there telling them boys how he used to do it back in the day, and tell them how tough he was and everything.
I walked 50 miles in a day. It was nothing.
You got with a backpack and a blister on my foot.
Yeah, I lost all my toenails, but it's okay. No big
deal. Yeah, man, that's not fun to me.
No.
On there, but
no, that's not enjoyable to me. But to each his own.
But I'll be honest, the Appalachian Trail I think would definitely be so much fun, because I enjoy just being in the woods and just hanging out in the woods, and I enjoy people. The reason I started section hiking the AT was to just meet people out on the trail, and I have met so many people. Some I still keep in contact with that I have met out there, and it's so amazing. And I'm so glad that I videoed it for YouTube to look back and everything, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah. Agree. Totally agree. Well, man, Chris told me to check my super chats. I don't see anything, but if thank you. I'm not seeing it, but thank you, Aaron, for the super chats.
I don't know what super chats mean.
I think that's a super chats with the contributions, but I'm not sure. I don't live stream enough.
Yeah, you got it.
Unpaid Explorer is asking, do you do a lot of tarp shelter camping in the late fall and early winter when backpacking? No bugs. I got the AquaQuest bivy sack. Yeah.
Yes, I do. I really don't use the bivy sack. I just put the tarp, and I put air mattress, and I got a piece of Tyvek. And I lay the Tyvek underneath my air mattress, and I kind of just sleep cowboy style on the ground like that. Well, it's not cowboy style since I got an air mattress, but I just sleep on the ground that way. And like John's saying, not the bugs and everything, but I really enjoy it. And to be honest with you, sometimes I'm warmer in there because I'll have a little gap like this at the ground.
Yeah.
Let some of the air go through. I don't have any condensation. I have such a big area from my tarp that I can cook in there and do whatever. It's so much bigger than the tent.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that a lot.
You've never woken?
And John Coffey, I enjoy John. I want to get him to the gorge.
John's a good dude. You need to show him the gorge.
Yes, I want to show him. I want to park him at Oxshire Ridge, and I want to take him straight out that dirt road to the end and maybe show him Double Arch. And John Coffey, I'm getting you to the gorge, my friend. I'm going to get you to the gorge. And
he's calling you out, John.
I love his ending. I'm out of here. I love John.
You need to trademark that, John.
I'm out of here. But no, I really want to show John some of the Red River Gorge. But yes, John, I do love the tarp camping. Here soon, very soon.
So you're not afraid of waking up with a snake in your sleeping bag, or?
Nah, that snake will be. He'll scoot away from me. And it's cold. When it's cold, they're real slow, and they'll just be away from there.
I just read was on Facebook or something, and somebody was saying that you guys got scorpions down there at the gorge, and I'm like, scorpions in Kentucky? What?
There is scorpions.
Jeremiah said, he's heard of that.
Yeah, it's very rare though that you're gonna run into.
Probably about as the same as finding like some of those salamanders and stuff that you like never see, that you know are there, but
yeah. You'll see some of those little salamander things like in the rock areas and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but no, the scorpions is very rare. It's not like at the desert or something,
Right,
stuff like that.
All I know is
Kentucky's pretty easy. We don't. Some places in eastern and southern Kentucky you might get some floods, but you really no tornadoes. Nothing like that. We really don't have bad winters. We really don't have. We got some mountain cats and bears, but it's very rare that anybody would ever. Very very rare, and so it's pretty safe. It's a pretty safe area to go in the woods and stuff like that. And the weather. We don't have very much volatile weather or anything. So
all I know is I saw the biggest rattlesnake of my life in the gorge. It was like a
in the gorge,
6 or 7 foot long timber rattlesnake. That was crazy. At Coomer Ridge.
Wow.
Yeah. Because
they're bad out that way. They're real bad with snakes.
I was driving in the car camping lot, and
yes.
I thought it was a stick across, and all these people were standing around it. I'm like, why is everybody staring at that stick? And then I was like, wait, that's a snake. So
that's a snake, a big snake.
It's a big snake. I mean, it literally was like almost across the entire road. Like, I was like, those things. That was like the second or third time I've been to the gorge, and I was like, those things are out here. Like, those are where I'm going hiking. It freaked me out. Because I've never seen stuff like that. It was crazy.
I've been seen a snake coming at me. And how can I say this? I was pooping. I was gonna say it. I was pooping. I could see that snake coming. It was a copperhead, and I could see him coming. I was like, "Please, guy, you got me in the most vulnerable position I could ever be in. Please don't come near me. Please don't come near me." And he kind of got real close and just went on. But I was like, "Man, that's the only time really I've been pretty scared because I was so vulnerable."
Well, yeah, it's like,
down.
yeah, you gotta move quickly there.
Please don't make me move.
Yeah.
Right in the middle.
Tech Redneck is on and said West Virginia has some nice rattlers. Yeah, I agree. I almost stepped on that.
I tell you where I've seen a lot of rattlers was I did the old loggers path in Pennsylvania. Holy smokes, man! There was tons of them up there.
Oh, really?
And some big ones too. And this was like cold weather time too, and I was shocked to see them out there.
Huh.
But yeah, that's pretty good. If you ever get a chance to do something like that, old loggers path, Pennsylvania.
Is that up northeast, like the northeastern section? Where's that at?
I think it is near where they had the Little League World Series because I got a hotel in that town. What is that called? But it was around that area.
Okay, yeah,
where they always have that. Yeah, I'm not sure. I hit the GPS drive to.
Yeah, because I know they have like the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon. I really want to do that, and you got Oil Creek, you got Minister Creek, you got Raccoon Creek. There's some pretty cool places. I know that Frozen's. I think he's done pretty much all of them, and I'm like, okay, there's another one I got to go to. I got to go there. And it's only about 5 hours for me. So
the guy that was mentioned in West Virginia. Mm-hmm. Man, West Virginia is a beautiful, beautiful state.
It really is.
My goodness. I mean, beautiful. Between Dolly and Cranberry and New River and just insanely beautiful stuff out there in West Virginia.
If you haven't done Spruce Knob, that area, definitely do that, man. It blew me away. Seneca Creek. I did that. That was my big trip for the year. Was West Virginia this year.
I love that solo trip you did, man. That looked awesome.
So I did Seneca Rocks, hiked to the top of that, and then I did Seneca Creek, and then I went up to Spruce Knob and camped out on top of the highest point in West Virginia. And man, it was awesome. It was just awesome.
And you talked about earlier where you had that water situation happen to you, and you had a water situation happen to you at Cranberry, and those people hooked you up.
Oh yeah.
With some water.
Yeah, that's right. There. Yeah, I'm really bad about that, like not taking enough water. So I was just chugging water because I was going, I was climbing elevation. It was hot and I was thirsty, and and then I was like, I get to the top and I'm like, what am I supposed to cook with tonight? But I kept thinking, when I think of like the Smokies It's like you go up there and
Yes.
there's like restrooms with like running water, you know, like sinks and stuff, and it's like it's
Picnic tables.
picnic tables, and it's all developed.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is the same kind of thing. There's like a, you know, the top of a mountain, there's gonna be an area to drive up there, there's restrooms. They'll have some place for me to get water. There's gotta be like a water fountain or something, right? Nothing. And so I just started like peddling every person I could find. I'm like, hey, can you spare some water? And I ran to like the most awesome guy. He was like, hey, I got like a whole church group with me, and we have so much water, it's ridiculous. And he opened up this van, he pulled out all these bottles of water, and they had like these gallon jugs, and he's like, how much do you want? And I'm like, oh, okay, you have been sent by God. You are amazing.
That's you're sitting there praying. There it comes. Oh,
because I was like, I am camping up here tonight, but I may just not be able to cook or anything. But I really didn't want to do that at all.
No, heck no. Like when I have to go camel water, shoot, I fill up everything I have.
Yeah.
Every freaking thing. Every bottle, bag, everything. Yeah. If I'm cameling up, that means I'm going to go to a Vista and see something awesome, or up top and everything.
Yeah, Dolly Sods, though, that Tanya, that Browning said Dolly Sods, she hopes to go there next year. Dolly Sods is another place. It's like really wild and just, man, I was amazed when I went out there. Like, you can't, it feels like you're in another, I don't know.
Yes.
Like,
it's like, when am I going to see these views again?
Yeah.
When am I going to see something like this again? And Dolly Sods is just, you know, when you go to these wildernesses, a wilderness usually doesn't have too many blazes. It might have cairns, or, you know, it doesn't have signs. They'll say a sign saying, you know, 4 miles this way or whatever, 7 miles this way. So there's really no blazes. And Dolly Sods is just wide open. So it's easy to get lost.
Oh, yeah.
But also, the scenery's so beautiful, who cares? You'll find your way out sooner or later.
Yeah. That was like probably the one place, and like every video you watch, people complain about how the weather just changes like on a dime. And that's how it was for us. We were there in like May, and it was sunny and perfect and beautiful. And then an hour later, it was the worst torrential downpour I've ever hiked in. Like, the trails were like waterfalls. Like, I mean, and you're trying to like go up these trails, and the water's rushing down at you, knocking you down. Like,
oh, that's tough.
It was but it was like, this is amazing. I was like, this is awesome.
By the last time I was at Dolly Sods and I was walking out, it was one of the most beautiful sunrises I've ever seen. I had my coffee, and I was just like, my goodness, it was just lit.
Wow.
And you got those big rocks and everything. I was like, Dolly Sods is awesome. Top notch. West Virginia, top notch.
Yeah, so Journey on the Trail said one of my favorite trips is North Fork, and that's another one. That's the one I almost did. That was my alternate to Seneca Creek, was North Fork.
I never even heard of that.
Yeah, I think if that's the one I'm thinking of, is if North Fork is the one that's like it's like a top of these cliffs. Now it might be a different one, but the one I was researching was it's like 10 miles of just cliff tops. Just amazing.
If somebody knows about this area, send it to me.
Yeah.
Either leave me a comment with that name of it, or email me something. I want to know about this area. Who said that? Who left the comment?
Let's see. That was Journey on the Trail. Yeah.
Could you send me something there? Journey on the Trail? Some kind of information about it? I've never even heard of that area. And I'll definitely look it up, or if you have a video about it, shoot it to me and I'll check it out, of that area. Yeah, I just have some of the research that I've done on it. I got to do Linville Gorge this year with Goat and Hunter and Jeremiah, and I got to watch a guy named Tyler Campbell outdoors, and so I was looking at some of Linville. You're getting ready to do a trip. You're like, let me watch some videos. And man, his videos was off the hook on there of that area. If you get a chance, check his out. Tyler Campbell Outdoors. Tyler Campbell Outdoors. Okay. And his Linville stuff. But he does a lot. Like, I mean, he goes through the Smokies. He does Red River Gorge. He does Linville. And he's a smaller YouTube channel, but I could definitely see it growing pretty fast. But check it out. I'm hoping to do some backpacking with him, too, especially around the Red River Gorge area. Did you ever see there's so many. Go ahead.
Oh, did you ever see the Shug video where the guy falls at Linville, and they have to airlift him out with a helicopter?
Yes,
Oh
I
man,
did, man. That was beyond wild.
yeah.
That was just wild.
That was the video that like changed my mind about going down there solo. Like, okay, I'm not going down Linville Gorge solo.
Put your little inReach on there, but Linville is, you talk about Dolly Sods and Linville. Both of those are just incredible places. And Linville, I mean, when people ask me about Linville, I'd say the river's a must see. That river is a must see. You've got to see the beauty and the power, and just my words will never put it to what I just want to tell you. Because it is freaking insane how big and beautiful that thing is. Plus, there's like little pockets where you could probably go swimming, in between the boulders where you go swimming. So I'm going to take a big summertime trip there.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah, I remember some of there was a Syntax video where he and Mike went out there, and they camped up on top of this ridge. The hammock camped on top of this, I don't know, like top of this cliff, and they had this view down the valley, like down into the mountains, like I think Table Rock and everything, or is that what it's called? Table Rock, something like that?
Well, there's Table Rock. Table Rock has we did that. We followed a big ridge. It's like 7 miles, and it's just 7 miles of awesomeness. You go through the chimneys, and then you get off to Short Off Mountain and stuff like that.
Sure, yeah.
Before I started doing YouTube, me and a buddy went out there, and it was pitch dark, and we went out to Rock Jock. We set up our hammocks. We didn't really know where the heck we was. But, man, when I woke up that morning and got to see the view, I was like, oh, my God. I didn't see nothing at night. It was pitch dark. We went and set up, out there on Rock Jock. And the next morning, we was right beside a great big vista. And I woke up, and I was just like, oh, my goodness. You're just so pumped. And what a feeling to get to have your morning coffee. And you wasn't even expecting it. You didn't even know there's going to be anything like that. Man. I thought that was, like, pretty awesome.
Mind-blowing. Huh.
Yes. Outdoors is mind-blowing, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, man, we've been going almost an hour. I guess have one more question that keeps getting asked here in the chat, and since you can't see it.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about Mountain House meals? I hear you like them.
Stay away from that freaking Mountain House. I'll eat some freeze-dried meals and stuff, but I definitely think Mountain House is the worst. Sorry, Tim Watson, if you see this or if you're out there, I am so sorry, but I am not a fan of Mountain House. Now, I'm really not a fan of any dehydrated foods. I kind of like Packet Gourmet, but I started trying one called Peak Refuel. And I really love the granola and strawberries, and it tastes just like milk and everything. It is delicious. And I liked another one. They're like pasta primavera or something, and I liked it. So we'll see. But no, the Mountain House, man. I try to make rules sometimes. I'm like, all right, it's the first night. Nobody has Mountain House at least for one night. The first night.
Well, that is one thing that I love hiking with you, because you'll cook like a freaking 3-course meal with like pots and pans. Dude, I'm too lazy for that, man. Like, I don't even want to boil water. Like, if cold soaking wasn't so disgusting, and I will never ever do that ever. Sorry, folks, I will not cold soak anything. I barely want to boil water. Like, do I have to boil this water for this meal?
I like it. I enjoy it.
Yeah,
I do.
I wish I
enjoy it
did.
Different ways, like throw a steak on a rock and just cook it right on a rock, something like that, or just different ways. I don't want to cook my meal over. I want to cook it over a campfire. Yeah. And stuff like that. But also, man, I brought cooked ribs the night before and brought ribs out, or make a chicken fajita meal and bring it out the next night. There's, it's so easy just to whip up a meal and have it to where you just warm it up, or just to whip it up all together and cook it out there and everything. And I mean, man, come on, the Boy Scouts throw like peppers and onions and hamburger and throw it in aluminum foil and they just heat it over the fire. There's your meal.
Yeah.
You don't have to bring a mountain house. I don't even know what mountain house costs. What, $7?
So, yes. Well, they're getting more and more expensive depending on what you get. But
So yeah.
But then
Sorry,
and then you have to, you know, pack it out. And usually, you know, I can't eat those 2-person ones. So I end up eating like a quarter of the packet, and I'm like, well, I have all this freaking food left over, and I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's annoying. That's annoying about them for sure.
I like I like bringing Knorr. I know the Knorr sides are just $1, but I like eating those. But I'll bring, like, say if I get the noodles one or something, I like bringing Parmesan cheese, and I'll bring Parmesan cheese and put in there or something.
Nice.
But I like the Knorr sides. I like those pretty good, just to heat up and stuff like that. Plus they're just $1, you know, just $1. But no, everybody wants to know Mountain House.
Journey on the Trail said Mountain House Bear Meat Edition.
My bear meat make it taste better. What's in that Mountain House?
I tell you guys, if you have not had bear meat, it is absolutely made. Black bear meat.
There were spices in it. You know, it was spiced up. You know, when they made it and they put it all in there together. But that's kind of what put the flavor into it.
Yeah.
But you got to have a little flavor. But yeah, it's delicious, man. Just make sure to cook it well done.
cook it well done. You had it cooked well done. Yeah.
No trichinosis.
No trichinosis. Yeah. Don't want to get anybody sick.
Hey, whoever will all watch this tonight, or whoever will watch the replay, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
and everything.
Thanks so much, everybody, for coming on. I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up there since it's been about an hour. But, man, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, dude.
Oh, a blast, man. A blast, Lance. Lance, you're a good friend of mine. So,
heck yeah, man.
You know, I can't wait for us to get out. I hate that we live so far away, but I always enjoy backpacking and going in the woods with you all the time.
Well, we will be getting out again, I promise you. So,
Red River Gorge winter trip.
Heck yeah.
Or, you know, Oak Creek if COVID don't close us.
As long as they don't shut the park down, shut the shelters down, which I don't see. Well, they might. I don't know. Who knows? But
hey, remember, guys, there's only about a month and a week left of 2020. Remember, turn those frowns upside down. Put a smile on that face. 2021 is coming.
Nowhere to go but up.
Nowhere to go but up. Everybody put smiles on those faces. Now remember, you got one life. Live it.
Absolutely.
I got to throw that in there.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving, great holiday week. And
yes, everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Great. You too, Lance.
Stay safe. Be healthy. God bless y'all. And take care. I'll see y'all on the next one.
See you guys.
Later.